If you're watching this message, then you know within your bones, with every fiber of your being, that it is time. It is time to let go, but not because it was painful to look back at what you had or because it was not good for you, but because you know that what awaits you in the future is far better aligned with your journey, with your story, and with the essence of who you are within your being. It is almost like a train that knows that in order to reach where it is supposed to, it has to start letting go. It has to start leaving the station where it was so comfortably standing all this while. And if you're watching this message, then your journey has just started. Of course, the metaphor for using a train also stands for the fact that there are going to be detours, there are going to be all of these temporary stops, but instead of looking at them as pit stops that stall you or that take you away from your final destination, the universe is asking you to look at them as things that make the journey interesting and exciting. In fact, the universe is asking you to be positive right now in the sense that it wants you to look forward to all of the adventures and learnings and amazing things that are awaiting you on each and every station. All of the people that are going to come on board and travel with you to where you're meant to be. All of the people that don't quite fit your story, for them to leave. And it isn't that they were bad people or that you did not want them to travel with you to where you're meant to go. It's just that they are on their own journeys, and maybe theirs doesn't align with yours, their story doesn't align with yours. And so right now you're at a point in your life where you are being called to trust to make that journey, because you've known this for a really long time, that your journey has started, your train has left the station in the best way possible, and you know that everything that awaits you on this journey is truly something that fulfills your soul. You're just being asked to let go. There might be a habit that you know is holding you back, a pattern, something you keep checking that you know you shouldn't, because if it was there, if you had trust within you that it will be there if you need it, you will just let go. And so right now, at this point in your journey, you're being asked to board your train and to leave for the station where you're meant to go. Now, this is a bit interesting because when we go on a journey, a lot of times we don't know what's awaiting us, and especially in the case of a journey where we're not really sure what's waiting for us, we don't know what to pack. And that's the most interesting metaphor that I can find to explain this predicament that we find ourselves within. Now, I'm not saying that you do not know where it is that you're meant to go, because if you're watching this, I know that you know that you are meant for great things, that you are on a roller coaster that keeps going up. You are aiming for the sky, you are shooting for the stars, and you're going to land at the moon. I think I just said the phrase in the other way around, like aim for the moon and land among the stars. But trust me, even if you shoot for the stars, you're going to land on the moon, because that's where you're meant to be, or a place higher if that exists in the metaphorical world. But either way, you know that you have the sense of calmness and stillness within you. The world at times feels like it is a ball of chaos around you. A lot of things might feel like they're not going your way on the surface, or that you are just detached from them in a way that you are a silent observer, but you feel more comfortable in your own spaces, in your own warmth. You might be wondering how exhausting it would be to be around a bunch of random people. And if you're watching this, then you might also be one of those people that find more comfort in engaging in deep conversations over chatter, over just noise or stimulation, because like all of us, our minds are wired very differently. Some of us crave the constant stimulation, the noise, and the vibes and the energy that you get in being at, say, a techno event or a party. And I'm not saying that just because you don't constantly crave that, you cannot enjoy that. Of course, you might have times in your life where, you know, you see yourself fitting into that atmosphere, but you just don't see how people do it like every day or like multiple nights a week. You might be a person that is more inquisitive or more curious about getting to know people on a deeper scale than just shallow conversations. And that beautifully connects with your journey and with your story, because the message here today is also the fact that you need to embrace the unique qualities and the unique things that you are attracted to, that your soul is attracted to. So trust me, and this is really important, every little peculiarity of yours, every little quirk of yours or interest of yours is there for a reason. If you find yourself interested in things that might not interest other people, but you have this fascination about this topic, right? It is there for a reason, and you're going to find that out in the journey. If you want to get a head start, you can possibly explore how it can tie together in your journey. But at this point, I would say this is not the healing phase, this is not the resting phase, this is the collecting phase, which means that you are being asked to collect your knowledge, to contain your knowledge, while obviously refreshing and re energizing your stores, your spiritual, mental stores, to brace for all of the amazing things that you're about to witness on this journey. And so the thing is that a lot of people think that when they're in the collecting phase, it is supposed to be challenging or it's supposed to be exhausting, because you're just supposed to collect your knowledge on from all of these different sources. But the distinction here is that you are not collecting information about things that exhaust you. So what you're being asked to do is to go within the things that energize you and learn about those things, and to just sit with yourself. And you know what? It doesn't need to be a thing. It could just be learning more about yourself, the things that you like. There are so many things. For some reason, it could be, for some people, it could be wine, it could be food, it could be how different flavors go together, it could be engaging. And this is going to sound far-fetched because a lot of people might say, how does this connect to a journey? But it could be different niche, like a different niche or a different genre of content. So you might be a person who's into watching dystopia or like rom-coms. And you know what? I truly believe that if you are at any point being called towards something, it's for a reason. And your spirit guides, your energy, they want to mold your energy in that way. There's always something that everything, that anything can add to what you have right now, which is what you're being called to do. You're being called to cultivate yourself and prepare yourself for the journey. The thing is, we might not know what it is to await in that journey, and so we don't know what to pack, but the instructions, the code manual has always been within us all this time. You already know what it is that you need to, you want to learn, that you are curious about. And at the same time, I'm also being being asked to focus on the fact that at this point you might feel slightly heavy energy, not a lot. It's not something that just keeps you down, it's something that might come and go in waves, and you know that it passes, but there's a heaviness. And of course, whenever we leave somewhere in order to get somewhere, we leave behind things that we hold precious, that once we couldn't imagine our lives without. But of course, that space is created for a reason, so that it may be filled with things that better align with who we become. And so that is what you need to know at this point. If you want more guidance and messages along this journey, do like and subscribe, because I think that also keeps me motivated on keep channeling for you. And I hope that you have an amazing week. I love you so much. I am sending so many lights, blessings towards your way, and I hope that every obstacle and challenge along your way, which are going to be very few, I promise you, this is not going to be a bumpy ride. This is going to be a beautiful journey with beautiful views. And I hope that everything ever aligns in your favor.